As your senator, building a modern transportation system will be one of my priorities because investing in transportation is investing in our people. For many working families, transportation isn't just about getting from one place to another. It's about opportunity. It's about keeping a job, getting an education, and building a better future. A strong economy depends on a strong middle class, and a strong middle class depends on having the tools people need to succeed. That's why transportation matters. When workers can get to work reliably, business can grow. When businesses grow, jobs are created. And when jobs are created, families thrive. Imagine a Guam where opportunity is within reach for everyone. I'm Donna Munikanata, and I approve this message.
Please re-elect Senator Shelley Calvo, number 8 on the Republican side of the ballot. She has served Guam with compassion, integrity, and results. She is rooted in service, guided by balance, and driven by community. She cares.
This is Shelley Calvo, and I approve this message.
Truly unbelievable actions coming out of the Guam legislature today. An amendment was passed by senators, by a majority of senators, that if it passes into law, is ostensibly going to cost you and I, all the taxpayers for the next 32 years, $524 million for one public school. I want to talk about this on the other side of the commercial break. This is the sole subject for tonight. And the reason we're having this show early tonight is because I have church things to do in just a little bit. So I don't actually have a lot of time to discuss this, but I also don't need a lot of time to discuss this. I am outraged. This is a disgusting thing that has happened. This really is unbelievable. I think senators have sunk to an absolute new low. And you need to hear all about this, and we will talk about this on the other side of we will yell about this on the other side of the commercial break. Stick with us.
He has that innate talent of even the most difficult times, giving comfort, giving solace, bringing stability. In my 64 years, there are people I've known that have passed away, and there's been Tony that has been there to comfort the family and the loved ones, sometimes the most difficult times of their lives. He could better this community as a public servant, but bring people together, even people with divergent thoughts and philosophies, but in the end, bringing enough comfort, enough stability to a situation that there's a consensus and then resolution and progress that is made. So, I'm so excited. I've seen what a great job Tony's done now back in the legislature, but I do believe that with him as governor, that ability to bring people together, to bring folks even with different perspectives together. It's what this island needs. God bless Atacalvo 2026. God bless Guam.
I'm Tony Atta, and I approve this message.
Transportation, tourism, customs, utilities, and federal and foreign affairs touch every family, every business, every day. Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan believes Guam can be greater together by fighting for cabotage exemption, expanding the Philippine visa waiver program, and opening new doors for tourism investment and opportunity. Vote Jesse Lujan. Leadership you can see. Accountability you can trust.
I'm Jesse Michael Anderson Lujan, and I approve this message.
If you're new to this conversation, or if you're new to this topic and to our investigative coverage titled Behind the Bid, which looks at, which is a continuing and ongoing look at the botched procurement of the new Simon Sanchez High School development that started in March of 2025 with the publication of the RFP and continued into the selection of Core Tech as the highest qualified offerer, then continued to the negotiations behind closed doors during the summer of 2025, and a whole lot of things outside of the normal procurement process for certain things have happened since then, including appropriations made by the legislature, the duping of the legislature into providing additional payments to Core Tech. At the end of it all, I need to give you some background information here in order for this to all make sense. At the end of it all, and what Lester Carlson, the budget director, who was also part of the negotiations, admitted before the legislature just a few days ago in the budget discussions in the Committee of the Whole, validated that the result of these negotiations was that the administration is prepared to award the contract to Core Tech at $16,377,125 a year for 32 years. If you're wondering why that number, $16,377,125, that's because that's the maximum allowed by the legislature under the law that authorizes the financing of Simon Sanchez High School. It's called the Makahat Act. The maximum. The government of Guam, the administration of Luliang Guerrero and Josh Tenorio did nothing in these negotiation meetings to bring that money, to bring that price tag down. Matter of fact, in arguments that ensued during these negotiation meetings, mainly between Lester Carlson and Ho Yun, Lester Carlson was at the very least trying to limit the payments to 30 years, the standard for a payback period, for a leaseback period. And at least that would have been $489 million. Still a disgusting amount of money for just one public school. But the pushback came from Core Tech, the winning offerer. No, it needs to be 32 years, bringing the price tag up to $524 million. And the legislature, through a series of legislation that began last budget, went along with it, not knowing what they were doing, proving Ho Yun, the chairman of Core Tech, correct in that first negotiation meeting that was recorded when he and the members of the administration were laughing about how the legislature doesn't even know about what types of laws that they pass. Proving his point. So, what happens? In November of last year, the second-ranked offerer, GPS, they protest. They file their first protest based on certain things. Based on two more things, they file the second and the third protest in December of 2025. Because of the law, the procurement law, the existing procurement law, that was made to protect us, the taxpayers, from this very type of thing. An automatic stay was in place, meaning the administration could not award the contract. They could not start to break ground until questions from that protest were resolved. And they have never been resolved because the Department of Public Works, the agency protested to, has never responded to any of the three protests to this day. And the administration continues to tell us that the delay is because of the protests. No, the delay is because DPW has not answered the protests. Instead, what does the administration do? Josh Tenorio files a bill, calls the legislature into emergency session and says, lift all of this procurement stay stuff and allow this Simon Sanchez High School procurement to go through. This is before the public was made aware that it was going to cost us $524 million. This was before they told the legislature the price tag of $16.377 million annually for 32 years. Okay? And then when all of that information came out about what the price tag was and all the shenanigans that were going on during the negotiation meetings, this is a highly scandalous procurement. No doubt. And even the senators, at least most of them, admitted to that. At least most of them said, oh, there's something wrong here. This is not what we signed on to. This is not what the administration told us. And despite that outrage, my friends, none of them, except for Therese Terlahi and Chris Duenas, who spoke in favor of Therese Terlahi's bill, did anything to reverse course about the things that they were doing. And they did that yesterday. So today, in session, Senator Will Parkinson, he introduces a rider into the budget. A rider is basically a standalone bill that you put into the budget that has nothing to do with the budget, but you do it because it's easier to get it passed. It's a bill. It's an existing bill that he has. I don't even know if it's had a public hearing. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. Not really sure. Doesn't really matter right now. It's a bill that he introduced after this whole Simon Sanchez high school thing to eliminate the automatic stay. And in the place of the automatic stay, it says that a protester of an aggrieved company can file a motion to stay. And a motion to stay must be heard by either the OPA or a court. Doesn't say which, doesn't even prescribe which. There aren't even any procedures in this amendment. Has 7 days to have a hearing. And if no hearings had and no decisions made within 10 days, then it's considered a denial. But even if a stay is granted by the OPA or a court, the governor of Guam single-handedly, at his or her discretion, can remove the stay, can lift the stay based on the substantial interests of the territory. No prescriptions for what substantial interest means. No guardrails that currently exist in the current law to hone in the definition of that substantial interest and the determinations that the governor makes. So, the legislature, knowing, because Lester Carlson told them on the record that this is going to cost $500 million if it goes through, that the administration is going to award this contract once the stay is lifted, passed this amendment by Will Parkinson in the Budget Act, which still hasn't passed yet, passed it in the Budget Act, so that if this thing becomes law, on the day it becomes law, the stay dissipates. The current stay on the Simons, the only thing that's preventing the government of Guam from sending us, the taxpayers, a bill for $500 million to pay to Core Tech over the next 32 years to construct one public school, goes away. All of our protections, they go away, they disappear. And at any point, even if GPS says, okay, let's do a motion to stay, within the 10-day period, within the 1 hour after this becomes law and the stay disappears, the administration can award the contract. And then it's too late. That bill becomes ours. $500 million. All of these senators who were outraged about this whole thing and who said that this is scandalous or that they weren't aware of this, that, or the other thing. They didn't know that it was going to cost that much money. Liars. Liars, because their actions have shown their true colors today. This after they went through that song and dance, these Republicans, at least most of them, these Republicans who went through this song and dance about being fiscally responsible and conservative, about giving back the money to the people of Guam, and then they're going to pass an amendment to stick a $500 million bill to us. More than the BPT is for the entire year. And if you want to know who voted for this thing, let me tell you, I have the list from Senator Tello Taitigui. Stand by. Let me tell you this. The people who voted against the Parkinson Amendment included Senator Tello Taitigui, Senator Chris Barnett, Senator Therese Terlahi, Senator Sabina Perez, and Senator Chris Duenas. Now there are that's five. There are three others who were not inside the legislature at the time of the vote. And I don't know where they stood on this. Okay, I just know that they weren't inside the legislature at the time of the vote, according to Senator Tello Taitigui. And they included Senator Tony Ada, Senator Joe San Augustine, and Senator Jesse Lujan. The other senators, according to Senator Tello Taitigui, voted for this amendment, understanding what it would do and how much it would cost us, the people of Guam, understanding that let's just take the price tag out of it for a second and just concentrate on its effect. Understanding that the legislature were going to intervene in an ongoing procurement protest. That alone should stink to high hell. But it didn't to these senators who voted for this amendment. That didn't matter to them. And it sure as heck didn't matter to them that it's going to cost us $524 million over a 32-year period. In itself, an unprecedented period for a payback scheme, for debt service, for a lease back. And so now I have to look at all of these people, some of whom I thought I was going to vote for, and ask and ponder, whose pockets are you in? Are you being paid off? How could you make a decision that goes against the actual interests and purpose of the people of Guam to the tune of $500 million that will go to one company for one public facility? Just one. And you guys won't even let the governor build a hospital? You guys won't lift a finger for that? You guys won't pay $1.8 million for people living with disabilities over at DISID? You guys won't put the $5 million extra or the $3 million extra, or whatever that is, so that hundreds more people can have access to medical care through Medicaid? You guys have a problem with $20 million that Therese Terlahi wants to give to Guam Memorial Hospital so they can be more sustainable, so they can have blankets and medicines and a little bit more comfort and a higher standard of care for patients like you and me, just regular people. But you've got no problem giving $500 million away to one of, if not the richest company on this island. Unbelievable. We are sure as heck going to be talking about this more in the days to come. In the meantime, I have things to do. So for Kandit News, I'm Troy Torres. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this early show. Join me tomorrow morning for the morning news analysis, where we will have more about Invest 90W. And you bet your ass we're going to have more about behind the bid and this disgusting action taken by the legislature today.
He has that innate talent of even the most difficult times, giving comfort, giving solace, bringing stability. In my 64 years, there are people I've known that have passed away, and there's been Tony that has been there to comfort the family and the loved ones, sometimes the most difficult times of their lives. He could better this community as a public servant, but bring people together, even people with divergent thoughts and philosophies, but in the end, bringing enough comfort, enough stability to a situation that there's a consensus and then resolution and progress that is made. So, I'm so excited. I've seen what a great job Tony's done now back in the legislature. But I do believe that with him as governor, that ability to bring people together, to bring folks even with different perspectives together, that's what this island needs. God bless Atacalvo 2026. God bless Guam.
I'm Tony Atta, and I approve this message.